Well, welcome back to part 2 of our professional automotive sales training video series. Today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be giving you a basic overview of the 10-step selling system. This is our way to help guide our customers through the shopping phase into the buying phase. And what I'd like to do is just give you a brief overview of each step. And in future videos we'll go into great detail to show you how to do it the right way. But as an introduction to the 10-step selling system, the very first thing you have to focus on is a professional meeting and greeting. This is where the sale really begins, and this is once more where you might meet a customer whose defenses are high. And a professional meeting and greeting can help break the ice. A simple smile, a handshake, welcoming them to the dealership, exchanging an introduction, and of course, beginning the process of asking intelligent questions in a meaningful manner. That is stage 2 of the sale, the qualifying process. And this is really the key to the sale, because when you ask enough intelligent questions, the customer will give you everything you need to know in order to guide them through the buying process. But timing is everything. Asking the right questions at the right time is a critical component of the sale. And we want to make sure we ask the questions that are relevant to the consumer and listen very carefully to the answers. Now, even though step 2 is the most important stage of the sale, it'll never really end. You'll continue qualifying throughout the entire process. But what we're referring to is getting enough information right up front to take them to step 3, which is landing on a car. Now, I warn you, landing on a car is not taking a customer, throwing them at the air and seeing what they hit. It is about finding the least expensive vehicle that comes closest to what the customers are looking for. Quite frankly, the cars are very rarely perfect. There's almost always something the customer might want to change about the vehicle. But we need to land them, that is, select the closest car and the least expensive car that has hopefully what the customer needs and what the customer wants. By doing this, you create a tremendous amount of confidence, because once again, the customer's fears are, you're going to waste my time and waste my money. But when you guide them to the right automobile, it's much easier to get that confidence on your side. Now, once we've selected the automobile, now comes a critical phase of the sale. Step number 4 is the 6 position product presentation process. And this is a critical step because 80% of your customers' buying decision is based upon how well you show them the product. And in the 6 position, we call it 6PO because the first step is an overview of the car and what you see in the front of the automobile. Step 2 is underneath the hood of the car, where the power plant or engine is. Step 3 is the driver's side of the automobile, where you can discuss the wheels, the tires, the brake, the suspension system, etc. Step number 4 is the rear of the automobile, where you would talk about rear window defroster, backup lights, exhaust system, the cargo areas, folding rear seats, things like that. Step 5 is the passenger side of the automobile, and this is where you discuss anything you did not previously discuss on the driver's side. You could talk about the body of the car, the paint system, the fuel filler door, even the window sticker, and the pricing of the vehicle, if that's there. And step number 6 is on the interior of the automobile. This is where you'll discuss the instrumentation, the gauges, the stereo, navigation options that it might have, moonroofs, the seating, the airbag systems, the transmission, all of those components front as well as in the back, so that the customer understands the interior of the car from top to bottom, inside and out. After you show them the car, step 5 is the natural progression, a demonstration drive. This is where you drive the car first. You want to make sure you drive first to safely exit the lot at the dealership, to warm the vehicle up, to demonstrate maybe the navigation system of the automobile or some of the more intricate gauges of the instrumentation cluster. And you take the customer away from the dealership environment just a couple minutes down to a secondary changeover spot. And this is where the car is now out in the real world. And the consumer can examine it as if they would actually be owning it out there in the real world. And then they feel confident driving the automobile on a nice designated demo route and ultimately ending up back at the showroom. Now, after you've gone on the demo ride, the next step is quite frankly one of the more important steps that a lot of salespeople overlook. That is the resell. This is where you and the consumer, the customer, will step back and evaluate the automobile once more, asking more intelligent questions. How did it feel? How did they like the way it drove? Does it have the features that they're looking for? Is there anything they change about it? And then you ask for the commitment. Mr. Customer, do we have the right vehicle? Will this be a nice replacement for the vehicle you're driving now, for example? Hopefully they'll say yes. And when they do, you say, if we can work out the right price, if we can work out the numbers, if we can work out the figures, can we earn your business right now? This is important because if the customer wants to switch anything about the car, you're still within the inventory area that you could comfortably do that. But if you get that positive response, then you want to document the vehicle and bring them back inside to do the paperwork. A 3/4 worksheet includes information about the customer, information about their trade if they have one, and information about the new car they just drove. Those are the 3 components. The 75% or 3/4 of the worksheet information. The only 25% missing is the negotiated price. So if the customer did have a trade, you want to make sure step 8 is handled correctly because we want to find out how to work that into the deal. I don't want to negotiate a price and then have them suddenly insert the trade into the sale. I need the trade up front. But once we've determined the trade value, if there is one, we then negotiate the deal. This is where we will work with management to create a fair selling price. Fair to the customer, fair to the company. Now, once this price has been agreed upon, we then go smoothly into step 10, which is approval. This is where we work out the final paperwork, introduce them to the finance manager, we get the car cleaned up and ready for delivery. And after delivery, we always want to make sure we follow up with the customer, make sure that we can ensure their continued satisfaction so that we can create good CSI, that is our Customer Satisfaction Index score, and ensure repeat and referral business in the future. Well, those are the 10 steps. Meet, greet, qualify, land, 6PO, demo, resell, 3/4 buyer's order, appraise the trade, close the deal, and deliver the car. We'll be examining each of those steps in detail and show you the systems to handle them correctly. But if you really want to take the 10 steps and break it down in an easy to understand fashion, that would be to have a conversation with the customer, to have a simple, open, two-way conversation so that you can help to get into the customer's head and get into their heart. And then you would have, from that conversation, a presentation on the right vehicle that they're looking for. After presenting the car, go for demonstration, and then hopefully they want to buy it, and you engage in negotiation. Conversation, presentation, demonstration, negotiation. It's a natural flow. There's a natural process involved in buying a car. And our job is to help make it easy for our customers to take that journey with us through the shopping process into the buying process. So we're going to look at each step in detail, and we'll see you for step number 1, meet and greet.